Jrue Holiday takes his turn as Boston's best scorer for a night, and Derrick White shuts the door with a monster fourth quarter. Bonus Locked On Celtics podcast right now.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Back to back, if I say it, it's stamp. Locked on number 19, the best one, the next one. Juice loose in your pool now for the next run. It's the C's, who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT Karalis, recap the madness every game, every practice. Best daily pod, no cap like Brad Beckett. Clutch like Jrue to KP, tap in daily. Prime time dapping D White on the sideline. Raining Jace, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. I got you Monday through Friday with a free podcast that drops directly to your favorite podcasting app when you subscribe. Bonus podcasts like this one right now after the Celtics play on a Friday or a Saturday night. Normally don't podcast Friday or Saturday night, but when they play, I got you with a bonus podcast. So thank you for joining me here for this. Watch the show on YouTube, get into the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the show, my name is John Karalis. I have been covering the Celtics for, 20 years or so now, doing it as a beat writer for Boston Sports Journal and the author of a couple of different books about the Celtics. So Google those. Maybe you can buy one. Celtics get the nice win, I guess, over Miami. It's a 12-point win, so we like double-digit wins on the road. Celtics continue their road dominance. This was not a pretty game. It was not a particularly fun game to watch. It was not a great game to cover and write about. But it's a win. Later on, we'll talk about the Saturday night, the plan for the Nets. I'm gonna ask for your help in a minute about Neemias Queta and how he played. I am in absolute complete shock and disagreement over how he played with the Celtics. But let's start at the top. Let's start with Jrue Holiday, who finished the game with 25 points on 10 of 15 shooting, 5 of 8 from 3, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, steal, 2 blocked shots. Awesome game from Jrue Holiday. He's the big story of this game. He's the star of this game. Even though Jayson Tatum had 28, I'll talk about Tatum in a minute. This is Jrue Holiday's game. This is a nice bounce back from his poor shooting performance against the OKC Thunder. But this is what we talk about, regression to the mean and the water finding its level, or whichever cliche you want. He was 1 for 7 in that game against the Thunder. In this one, he's 5 of 8 from 3. So 6 of 15. It's 40%. You can legitimately say Jrue Holiday has been shooting 40% over his last 2 games from 3. And he has. It's just that this was a 5 of 8 night for him. Got going early, felt it early, and just kept it going. And this was, in a way, the Celtics have been kind of like flexing a little bit. Like, hey, today it's going to be Jaylen and Jayson. How about today we go Pritchard and Hauser, or Pritchard and Derrick White, or whatever combination. So Holiday gets his turn here. The numbers for Holiday, it's interesting. What the line of questioning after the game was that, Holiday's overlooked, and he is overlooked. This was, a 25-point game is not like a big deal. This was the 134th time in Holiday's career that he has scored 25 points. That is nothing special to do it 134 times. What it means is he's capable of scoring a lot of points, and he's been doing it for a long time. But it's the most he has scored as a Celtic. It's just the third or fourth game this season that he scored 20 plus. He's not scoring for the Celtics. This is not what they need him to do, but he's still capable. 2 years ago, March 29th, So this is I'm recording this March 15th. This is the March 15th show. So we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of his career high 51 points. So it hasn't been that long since Holiday has had a monster scoring night. He is capable of scoring, but he doesn't have to score. And that's the quote from him after the game where he's like, when you have a team that's talented and you see guys in their prime or right before their prime, you want to get a chance to show what you have, but those opportunities will come. Sometimes winning or getting a chance to win doesn't come as often, so take advantage of it while you have it. This is Jrue Holiday in a nutshell. Is he capable of scoring more points? Absolutely. If you gave him 15 to 20 shots a game, he would average more than 9 points, but he's averaging 9 points right now. It's the first time he's averaged less than double digits in a season since his rookie season. And people will look at the drop and say, well, of course, he's 34. This is his 16th year in the league. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, he's tailing off. And yeah, he's 34. He's not 27 anymore. So 34, you do drop off a little bit. But you're not gonna tell me that he looks like he's 34 out there all the time. I know some people have been saying, like, from the beginning of the season, like, oh, is the age catching up to him? Is he finally showing his age? I mean, some of it may be a little bit of slowing down. You're not going to play ball forever, right? Everybody slows down. Even LeBron, who's having, another great season, is still slowing down. It's just he started at such a high level. His slowing down is still pretty fast. When you're going 140 miles an hour and you slow down, you're still doing 90, right? It's like, wow, you're going pretty fast. Like, yeah. But anyway, Holiday, is he slowing down a little bit? Yeah, probably a little bit, but not that much. He's in incredible shape. And his workload hasn't been a ton. He's just, I think with the Olympics and the long championship run last season, I think it's been a little bit of a slow kind of ramp up for him, but he is super capable of scoring. He is absolutely capable of scoring. And with the mallet finger and all of that, it's a little bit of a feeling out here. And some days it doesn't probably feel great, and some days it does. He joked after the game, I take drugs, so it works out. So I'm sure he's on plenty of painkillers for that finger, but that's something that he's got to deal with. But give him enough shots and he'll score plenty of points. He just doesn't need that many shots. And of the Celtics on the floor, you want other guys to get more shots than him, right? Obviously, Tatum and Brown are supposed to get more shots than him. Derrick White, you want him getting more shots than Jrue Holiday. Even like Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard, all of these guys are at least on his level or above him scoring-wise, and that's what they do. And Holiday is taking a more specialized role, but a game like this is a nice reminder that Holiday has some scoring left in him. So, and it's great to see him score and shoot and hit shots with the finger being the way it is. And look, it's March 15th, a month from now, April 15th. Playoffs haven't even started yet. Maybe the finger heals. Maybe first round, second round, that splint can come off and he can get back to normal. So I thought Holiday, I want to make sure that this entire first segment is Holiday getting his flowers. I think I'm only going to do 2 segments in this show because I don't need to go half an hour on beating the Miami Heat, who are just not good. But spending 9 minutes on Jrue Holiday is the least I can do because he's awesome. I have so much respect for him and what a great leader he is. The sacrifices that he makes. He and Derrick White are the 2 guys who have probably sacrificed the most to be on this championship team. And here they are, the 2 guys that came through in a game where aside from the first 5 minutes, I thought the Celtics mostly were kind of blah, especially Jayson Tatum. So Derrick White's big fourth quarter, Jayson Tatum, and the rest is coming up when I come back. Today's bonus podcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Have you ever checked your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? That's probably all of us. Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, I am guilty of all three for sure. It's very easy to lose track of your money. And that's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app. There are plenty of those. This is a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you can start building wealth. When you start using Monarch, you'll see how much you spend on things like food delivery or dining out. Listen, I'm guilty of both. So now, budget smarter, save more money. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, even plan long-term goals. Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever, and you can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Please, anything that solves the stress of money in a relationship is helpful. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Check out Locked On NBA Game Night. This is a bonus podcast, but Locked On NBA Game Night goes 7 days a week. No bonus. This is just the plan. 7 days a week covering all the games in the NBA. So check that out to keep up with the league. You've watched the Celtics. Now keep up with the rest of the league. And there's some Celtics talk there too. I make a little slight appearance there through my video update. So yeah, check it out. It's great. 7 days a week, wherever you found this podcast. So Holiday was great, but Derrick White is the difference in the fourth quarter. Jayson Tatum sits, which may have been helpful for the Celtics. Derrick White goes off, not just hitting threes, hitting the grenade threes. If you need a last second shot, I know Peyton Pritchard is Mr. Buzzer Beater, and that's great with the heaves. It's like a very specific buzzer beater kind of shot. Pritchard gets the heave, Derrick White gets the grenades, and just get the ball with 2-3 seconds left, find a way to make a shot. He made a shot over Bam Adebayo, which was insane. A shot from the logo, crazy. And the best part about it, by the way, was Al Horford's son, Ian, who jumps off the bench. He's there. He's with Dad. He's like basically part of the team. I think he might be on a 10-day contract. Let me tell you something. That kid can shoot. You might be able to 10-day him, and he could probably score a bucket on you at this point. Ian comes jumping off the bench, goes running into Derrick White. He is excited. That kid, Ian Horford, is into the game. He loves the game. So that was funny. But Derrick White, and not only that, by the way, not only is Derrick White going for 12 points in the fourth quarter and hitting huge shots, he's playing defense. He's a plus 11 in that fourth quarter, just doing a little bit of everything, playing defense, making the right play, taking and making shots. What can you say about Derrick White that hasn't been said about D White at this point? I trust Derrick White, even though he's struggled through the first three quarters. He struggled 3 of 11, 0 for 6 for 6 points through the first three quarters. I just trust him to come through in the clutch. 12 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3 in the fourth. This is why you don't stop shooting. A lot of times people will say, Derrick, man, you're 0 for 6 from 3, man. Stop shooting. Just stop. And then he goes out and in the fourth quarter drops 3 of 5. Huge shots that change the game and make this look more comfortable than it was. And it was not comfortable because Jayson Tatum, who somehow found his way through sheer talent to 28 points on the night. He had a big third quarter, and this is where he really put up the real numbers. He woke up after a bad first half. 11 points in the third, 4 of 7 shooting, 2 of 5 overall, 2 of 5 from 3. His overall numbers, 5 of 12 from 3, 8 of 21 shooting, 28 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal, 5 turnovers. He seemed like he was, not, lethargic. He was lethargic. He was at worst disinterested, at best lethargic. Maybe a combination of both, but he insists on playing in these games, and I appreciate that. But he was not great, and I'm not gonna kill him for it. But it is a testament to how good he is. 28 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal, plus 10, even though he didn't shoot well. The fact that he's putting up those kinds of numbers. And I can look at his game and be like, aside from a few minutes in the third quarter, he was probably not that great. That means he's an amazing player. But they didn't get your typical Jayson Tatum performance. So Derrick White had to do the job. I thought Luke Cornett was really good. He played 21 and a half minutes. I thought he did like a lot of good things. I thought he moved the ball well. I thought he got himself, Scal was talking about the screens that he was setting and the space that he was creating, and I thought it was all really good. But he didn't play a whole lot. In the second half, it was Neemias Queta, and then Queta played the entire fourth quarter, which kind of blew my mind. I came out of that game looking at Queta thinking, God, he was not good. He was not good. But in the fourth quarter, he played all 12 minutes, and he was a plus 11. And I don't know. I'm surprised by this. I need somebody to come up into the comments and tell me what you saw. Am I going crazy here? Am I taking crazy pills? I came out of that game thinking, God, Queta was bad. And maybe he was bad for most of the game, and then in the fourth quarter, he did a few things. He did have 6 rebounds in the fourth quarter. He did block a shot. But I thought he had his moments, but I thought he was generally terrible. So, but after the game, Joe Mazzulla was like, yeah, the versatility and all of that stuff. Derrick White was like, yeah, Nimi was big in the fourth quarter with his defense. And I'm like, how? What? Really? But I don't know. I have to rewatch that part. I'm like shocked that people were so high on him. I wanted him out of the game so much. But look, end of the story here is there's not much about this game that you're going to write home about. This was a forgettable game with a nice performance from Jrue Holiday, a great fourth quarter from Derrick White, and without Porzingis still, but he was on the bench and he was looking a little like he looked a little bit more involved. He went through his full shoot around stuff and he seemed okay. He was active on the bench. Maybe this was just we'll give him one more day off and he'll play against Brooklyn. We'll see. Maybe him making the trip is a great sign. Him going through shoot around is a great sign. So that's all good. Brown taking the day off, not a surprise. I'd love to see him take the day off against Brooklyn. Maybe not. Maybe he'll play. As I said in yesterday's show, maybe the 65 game thing is a thing that he wants to pursue. So he won't take this day off. Okay, fine. Take the day off, rest your knee, play against Brooklyn. That means Jayson, I hope, will take the day off. Jayson, after the game, said there will be a lot of butting heads when it comes to him resting. Stop butting heads, Jayson, please. Just take the day off. I know it's an admirable quality to say kids probably got tickets to this game and maybe it was a birthday present or a Christmas gift or something like that. But look, man, I'll just put it out there. That first half, if you're going to take that approach, then you got to be better. If you're going to say, I especially want to play on the road because this is the one chance a kid might get to watch me, then what was that first half? Because it didn't look like you cared to be out there. Now, it was a bad shooting night, but also it was a lethargic night. Like, I saw somebody on Twitter, I forget who it was, say, did Tatum go out last night? Like, again, I appreciate the mentality, but also follow that up with the effort. And let me be clear here. I want you to take the day off so you're not trying to fight through a lack of energy, right? Maybe you do want to go out in Miami. Hell, as far as I'm concerned, it's a Thursday night. You're Jayson freaking Tatum. You guys have basically locked up the second seed, even though, by the way, this was the clinching game for the playoffs. If the absolute worst possible case scenario is that the Celtics are going to be the 6th seed. But regardless, we know they're going to be the 2nd seed. You're Jayson Tatum. Everything I've been saying is like you are on that potential MVP path for next season. You're playing so well. Take your Thursday night in Miami, buddy. Go have fun. Go get drunk, man. You've earned it. Take today off. Take this game off and go play in Brooklyn. Nope, you don't want to do that. Okay, so I don't know what you did on Thursday night. Maybe you just got good sleep. And maybe you're just tired. Maybe you're just worn out by this season. But whatever it is, you looked lethargic out there. It's either lethargic or disinterested. And either way, why would somebody who got the tickets for this game want to watch that? But then, I can eat my words and say, well, third quarter, he looked good. And that might be enough. I just want Tatum to be ready for the playoffs. I want him to be 100% or as close to 100% for the playoffs. Just accept the fact that you're going to have to rest and take a couple of these games off from time to time. Just accept it. I appreciate the mentality, but just accept that this is how it's got to be so you can be at your best to make this next championship run. That's all I'm saying. I expect Jaylen to probably play against Brooklyn. I kind of half expect Porzingis to be there too. I don't know why. I'm being optimistic on that. Al Horford won't play, I'm sure. And we'll see if Derrick White or Jrue Holiday or somebody else ends up on the injury report. I will be here with a post-game podcast for that as well. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts there. I hope you enjoyed this bonus podcast on Celtics winning by 12 over Miami. Get into the YouTube page, get into the comment section there. Let me know what you're thinking. Share your thoughts. And then I would love it if you shared the podcast. Share it on your socials. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.